the other side, though, I did say here comes Aphelios, and maybe this time Abel picks it up. Now, I will never forget that Abel this split on the Aphelios was the one who flashed forward in melee range with Infernum into 4 people and absolutely into his face-off. So I'm not sure what you think of it, but at the very least, it is something that will stick in my mind.
Well, I take Aphelios, Vincenzo.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes. But seriously,
That's true.
I think Aphelios is your best option here. Just you kind of need something that's going to set you up in that AD carry role. Jinx gone, Samira gone. Maybe that could be an answer.
Do it, dude. If they do this, even the Tristana, okay, I'm still down for this. I mean, Abel and Cold, this strong 2v2, has been on this Tristana against the Zeri lane. So, Dagda, at least we're not getting a standard draft, dude, where we want to put our heads in the sand.
Yeah, I think for OMG, definitely setting up again around the strong bot side where at least they can win out in the 2v2. RNG, way going back towards the Volibear, no real surprise. Again, just a very strong jungle pick at the moment, especially in competitive. And we'll have to see what the plan is here for Xiaohu as he hovers. Oh, just instantly locks the Ryze. So, I mean, for RNG, definitely a little bit more standard. You're kind of looking at like super strong AD carry, or Romy mid, all seems to be falling into place.
Well, we get a standard in the rest, though. That's a little bit unfortunate, but at least Creme on the LeBlanc, something he's strong at. Now let's look towards these solo lanes because we don't have topside, and Bin versus Shanji has the ability to surprise. That Rumble's still open, Dagda, that's what I'm thinking, but Bin even deserving more bans where Camille, Jax, Fiora, definitely some of his specialities.
Yeah, well, there you go. Camille already taken off the board. Do agree with Jax. I mean, for RNG, it's always kind of been the story of them, right? It's like, at minimum, they are playing one. They always have been on something that's about this kind of side lane pressure, the split push pressure. And a lot of the times that's then answered with Xiaohu, who's going to be playing on sides and almost still playing the same style they did last year. It's just that Xiaohu isn't kind of the mainstay carry from the top side. We're going to see what the plan is here for RNG, though. The Kennen taken off the board. I actually thought that we might see some jungle bans from RNG just with Aki not having locked that in, but seems they're more worried about Shanji and what he can do with his odd champion.
Yeah, again, Rumble still up and available, just worth a ban, and the cannon from last game hurting them a lot. We'll just see if they double down into topside. They've still got support to pick up here, so naturally, things like Leona for Ming have been pretty good and was in game number 1, and Graves goes instead. So a support pool still widely available here for the best support, or one of, in the LPL.
Yep, I think he's still got a ton of options he can work towards. I think the same for Shanji, like Gnar still up and available. The Jace is still there, and with that Tryndamere gone, maybe Shanji just decides to go for that. You can try and play at range here against what RNG have. If you are OMG, because at least on OMG side, they kind of shown, look, they are wanting to play mostly standard, or at least like try and win this series against RNG, despite the fact they're knocked out. Especially with JDG kind of waiting in the wings to see how things are going to go for them.
Oh my god, It's been a while. It has been a while. We've moved away from the days of Nocturne, and Dagda, the dive ability, the backlight access. OMG are going to kill Gala.
Yeah, 100% going to be looking to try and murder Gala, and I think you got the tools to do it. I'm also curious now if they do end up going towards like an R for Shanji as well. You just go full on into this dive composition, everyone kind of get in here, and even maybe if Shanji wanted to, I'm just double checking. Hasn't played it so far, but something like the Aurelia could actually work out if you get the nice counter pick here. Also, a Gangplank wouldn't be the worst for Shanji here, just like trying to slow down the Zeri in the backline to enable some of this point and click CC and like prevent this Zeri from just like jumping the hell away the second you jump in on top of it. Oh, this is an Aurelia game.
Oh, it is? It is. You're right. Good point. Especially with the Gnar Dagda. Aurelia loves the matchup.
Yeah, I really want to see Shanji play the Aurelia. I think it just fits so well with what OMG are trying to do. And just has a insanely strong matchup. Could go for the Gangplank as well. Gangplank does do well into this matchup, but again, it's about like getting backline threat. I think Rumble can do that as well. So actually totally fine with this as well.
It's a speciality as well, right? Like if we look at the Aurelia hype, it also comes off the back of the fact that, you know, Shanji is that kind of player. He has these pocket picks up on the top side, and the biggest one for OMG as they finish off the split is the Rumble up in the top side, Shanji's pocket pick. We get Aki on a Nocturne when he's been playing the Talon jungle throughout the start of the split at the very least. We get an OMG draft Dagda that, again, like game 1, has that tunnel vision into what it wants to do, and Gala is going to have the roughest time this game being relevant. Like, good luck to that man. It's all on him.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, these two teams are going to be throwing haymakers. You're looking at short-range compositions on both sides, a ton of backline pressure on both sides. I think the person that's probably going to benefit the most from OMG's draft on RNG is actually going to be Bin in that top side. You got double AP solo laners, picking up some early Merc threads, picking up some of that, some Hex drinkers is going to do you wonders when you get towards like side lane pressure for Bin. Even an early Hull breaker wouldn't go amiss. So I think Bin should have a reasonably good game. But as you say, I think Gala, he's going to have his work cut out from here to make sure he's able to avoid everything that's coming his way.
Oh, God. Good luck. Again, like, there's a lot of abilities that can protect, that can help him out, but it is so many tools from OMG that they can't commit. As we get, finally, Dagda, I can say this. Are you ready? We are at the very last game after waiting so long of the regular season of the LPL 2022 spring. This is it. Playoffs start tomorrow. Let's get ready to rumble!
You know that's copyrighted, right?
Oh, is it? Oh, bugger. Well, sorry to LPL. I guess I'm paying the $20,000 fine.
Please don't come after us, Mr. Man. But yes, OMG trying to see if they can land the hook onto Gala. Not quite able to do so. I appreciate the level ones from OMG. I like that they're trying to get a bit funky and try and throw RNG off kilter at the early stages. But Wei will be spotted getting that ward on red, so they know exactly where Wei, or at least where OMG are going to start. No wards placed by OMG though means they're not entirely sure which way Wei is going to go.
Dude, Dagda.
Yeah.
How about we make a vow with chat with everyone who's watching the broadcast? You make a vow, you will not share this stream around. You will not tell anyone that just happened. You keep it to yourself, and you guys can continue watching the stream. Anyone who does it is not allowed in our playoffs, Dagda. I think we've got about 17,000 watching LPL on Twitch alone, so that is a vow of silence from 17,000 people. If we can keep to that, that'd be amazing. Especially when this is our final game of the split. I'm hyped up because we're finally at the end. We've had 4 makeup series in total. All OMG, unfortunately, we had a COVID issue. Team was in quarantine for 2 weeks. V5 as well, we had to reschedule due to Caster, I believe. And we're kind of just at the point where we've had such a long split, Dagda, 7 days a week, where I'm just glad playoffs are starting and we're finally getting into the nitty-gritty of who we're going to send to represent MSI.
Yeah, and also just the fact that it does feel so close. Like, you're looking at JDG on a Resurgence V5 and RNG in general looking incredibly strong. You know, top esports, you never really know what you're going to get with them. Sometimes they look absolutely phenomenal. They can take on the world. Other times, they struggle. We'll put it that way. But, like, there are so many of our teams that I'm kind of looking at going, like, even for Weibo, potential for them to come back. EDG are world champions. What do they look like when we get to the best of 5? I think there's a huge amount of teams that can be the dark horse, or at least bring in the upset. That This is still a very close playoffs.
Yeah, like, we've got great teams in the lower bracket, more to what you're saying. We've got teams that maybe shouldn't be there, but best of 5 changes everything, especially for LPL. I feel like we have some of the most fun drafting teams, especially over a series. I think LPL is really good at adapting in a best of 5 as well, Dagda. We've seen that so many times, and even last year at Worlds. In 2021, EDG were great at adapting through draft, and I feel like watching this team on the world stage is what gave us hope that, yeah, the longer the series go, the more surprising teams can be, like top esports in previous years. I think in 2020 was against Fnatic in the quarterfinals.
Key and Wei moving down towards the bot side. Wei is no AD. He's been spotted out every single step of the way down here.
He's been tracked out. I mean, Aki's got a level advantage as well. This is Zenith Blade. Aki now moving in. The Nocturne is pre-6, so not going to do too much. And nothing happens in the bottom side. So looks like Xiaohu's moving down as well. Junglers heading back to their own camps. And yeah, we haven't talked too much about the game, of course, coming in. You know, we've got some interesting picks here. Let's talk a little bit more about OMG because Dagda, dive comp, we've got a composition that can move pretty fast. And 6 feels like a pretty crucial point to start talking about where Aki hits and who he syncs up with those ultis as well.
Honestly, I think he got pretty much pick of the litter here for Aki. Like, everyone on OMG here plays a pretty significant part. Like Shanji, if he can get a good lead, that equalizer will tear through people. Like Xiaohu can make it really difficult for Gala to play team fights correctly. Creme potentially one-shotting Gala. Engage bot side.
Round 2. Okay, Cold flashes away. There's a flash from, not Abel, but it was a flash from Ming to stop him in his path. Bottom lane, so low. Gala and Ming again being the focus. Abel and Cold not getting their 2v2.
Now, Wei really wants to try and get Gala ahead, and it does make sense. Like, he's your main source of damage in this scenario, so for RNG, I wouldn't be surprised to continue to see this, especially when Xiaohu hits 6. You imagine that that's only going to double down on that effect, but for Aki, again, maybe your play then is to just kind of go, right, where are RNG going to show up? Let's try and shadow them and try and go for the counter gank, because Aki getting this topside scuttle, his camps are resetting faster. Like, he should be the one that's hitting 6 first, just with how quick this Nocturne is clearing.
He's coming back towards mid lane. Aki not spotted out, but Xiaohu playing towards jungle. And we start the early game the exact same way. Okie dokie. Well, Creme not going to get the chain either. What are we replaying? We're replaying the bot almost action.
Yeah, I mean, Cold almost going down. Ming, I think, was a bit over-aggressive here to try and flash forward for Cold. Oh, doesn't have...
auto.
I think his Q just ran out, so wasn't able to finish up on that Creme, though. Taking a good chunk of damage here against Xiaohu. Aki, again, like, Aki's just going to continue to farm, so Wei happy to take this dragon. Like, RNG just playing around the fact that they do have just the early control. There it goes.
We got there.
As Aki won't really want to try and do too much pre-6. Like, wants to try and fast hit that ultimate. And again, when you're playing a Nocturne like this, that first ultimate can be crucial. Like, it sets the pace of the game. If you can pick up a kill off that, phenomenal. If not, well, then you're kind of waiting a while for it to come back up, and it's not exactly the best of times.
Couple of ults in the game we said the same thing about, right? Twisted Fate ulti, a Realm Warp here from Ryze, Galio ulti as well. First couple of ultis that set the tone and add pressure, but even more so, get the game rolling in favor. OMG have a lot of versatility if they can build the snowball in this game, Dagda, but you know, if we see a LeBlanc fall behind, a Rumble, a Nocturne, we know what these champions can do. Hell, if Tristana has a bad lane, it's very obvious as to how OMG will go. And so that first ult coming back to it, it looks like Aki will be heading towards the top side where Krugs are spawning. It'll have 6. He'll have an angle on top as well, considering that Shanji now has his equalizer available that can really lock down and make life hard for Bin.
Yes, I'm just trying to figure out what he's building, because usually I see the Stride Breaker on the Nocturnes, because at least if you had one Ruby Chris, I'd be like, all right, it's Gore or a Stride Breaker. The double Ruby is making me think Chem Tank, but I haven't really seen the Chem Tank build. The other style is like full lethality, you want to one-shot somebody, but yeah. I think in competitive that doesn't really work out as well because they're just more coordinated to kill the squishy Nocturne. But yeah, I'm curious to see what Aki's building here.
It's surprising, right, as well, especially when we see the access to damage being so highly prioritized, even in competitive play, at least for a longsword. But we'll wait and see. At least Aki now having the ultimate, still being a Nocturne with burst damage. He's still towards his top side as well. So just keep a track of the OMG jungler while Wei's on the bottom side, so he won't be able to negate anything here. When the Wei pushing up against Bin, it might only be a matter of time. Bottom lane, we get an engage again. Gala's just hit level 6. There's a lightning crash down. And Cold now blocked from his dredge line. Ming, really nicely done. He makes up for the mistake before. And first blood goes over to Gala.
Cold has just been really slow in his reactions in this bot lane. Like, the way this matchup works is, because you're both running the Glacial Augment, it's on Cold the second he sees the Zenith Blade running out to throw at his own hook, make sure that he hits Ming, and then you walk away. You don't go for the auto attack because that's actually too slow. It means Ming can get a follow-up. You just walk it back, and Ming is too slow to actually close the distance then to get the follow-up CC. But Ming has just been able to consistently land it because Cold hasn't been able to be quick enough on the trigger finger.
Is it a surprise with how Cold's been playing? Let's pause though, because OMG have started the Rift Herald. Equalizer comes through on top of Wei. He has his own ult, but the Realm Warp being used. Aki paranoia's out, but it's only going to be brought out so that he can help get a clean getaway. So Herald is the trade at the end after the kill goes down in the bottom lane, and OMG at least finding once again this objective that they found pretty much all series long.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice attempt from OMG there. Like, the idea was, hey, if Xiaohu's caught out here, let's go for it. But with that Realm Warp down and all you burnt... So, it would have been fine if you just burnt the Equalizer on OMG and were like, Equalizer cooldown. For a Realm Warp cooldown, you take that every day of the week. The problem was Aki investing that ultimate as well, the paranoia, means that you just don't really have there was no need for it. And it just means now Aki doesn't have that up to try and influence the lanes. Now, coming back up in about half of that cooldown time, but still, that wasn't really needed to be invested. You could have tried to keep that for maybe a play bot side or try to set up something so you could then use this Rift Herald.
So we'll see where he can put it. Equalizer will be up and available soon as well. Creme can also move as well here, Dagda, because Xiaohu no longer has the Realm Warp, so opportunities arise, but it is 10 minutes in. We only have 1 kill, and honestly, I need to see more. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm cursed. Maybe because we got game 1 the way it is, OMG, we're just like, we can't let this happen again. Coach brought out the bag of the oranges. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying, Dagda?
Yeah, get that vitamin to get it all set up. Creme.
Oh, I was going to say something a bit more negative, but okay. He's going to flash away. Away comes into the mid lane and just forces him out, and Creme kind of used to that from game 1.
Man, I'm really surprised that we're seeing this. Sorry, I'm still hung up on this Nocturne build.
Yeah.
For the chem tank. I just don't get it. Like, if you're going to go for the lethal tempo, surely having the AD would help. Like, I just don't understand what the lethal tempo's for if you're going to go with chem tank.
Well, at the very least, let's see how much damage he does. He's on top of Xiaohu. Xiaohu running away, but at least Aki has enough with the Bammy Cinder. Way not there in time. It is now 1 for 1, and OMG getting Aki on the board. The Herald opens things up as well towards mid lane. Oh,
yeah. Oh, Shanji.
Yeah.
Actually might be in trouble here.
Hyper going to come through. Shanji's still going to get dove, I reckon, but minion wave cleared away. Maybe I'm wrong. Bin with the flash available, not going to wrap around. Shanji's sticking around. While RNG dismay with the Herald through mid. OMG moving towards objectives. This is kind of what we saw in the second game, Dagda. They just had full objective control, and RNG had to sit and watch.
Yeah, and RNG considering it here. Ming, you gone too deep, though.
Or has he? Because Xiaohu's come back in with the teleport, the flash solar flare, and course cold to one caught out. That's always the case. Oh.
I thought that OMG would try and turn that, but yeah, Shanji going down. Shanji, not respecting the fact he doesn't have TP, so got greedy, tried to stick around. On that Dragon Play, though, I didn't actually think Ming was going to get that. I thought you'd have OMG just turn around, but don't decide to, and it means that now RNG 3-1, about 1,000 gold lead for themselves, which is about to inflate as well, with both side lanes being pushed in, but just going to get a repeat on top. Bin,
oh my god.
Shanji, that was so greedy. Like, use it on the wave, at least, so then you can reset, but yeah, you kind of just give your life here for no reason.
Yeah, and we knew he was going to die, so as Wei goes down to the bottom lane, OMG's just getting focused again. Aki's here. Welcome back. His ultimate almost available, but he won't need it to take down Wei. RNG have gone deep, and this has just turned into a massive fiesta. Gala's having a great time, and he's used the ulti in that trade, so we back away. Again, Dagda, this is what happened in the second game. It was slow. It was, I guess, concentrated and calm. And then they're just like, let's go.
I mean, you're not wrong. And I think as well, the usual good understanding we have from RNG of like how to use map pressure and how to like time their plays around like reset timers for themselves, or like even where their opposition will be in the map, ain't really happening in this game. Like, we've seen it, even actually, to be honest, this series, we've seen it twice now that RNG try to make that play on bot side, and you just end up with OMG being in position to turn around. You didn't even need Aki to use the paranoia. He was just sitting in that bot side. And I think a lot of that has to do with, like, the lack of vision that RNG have in important areas. Like, River doesn't really belong to them on either side of the map. You don't really have any deep vision onto OMG's side, but they're still trying to force these plays, and OMG are just responding well.
Yeah, I mean, you got a 2-0 Frostfire Gauntlet Nocturne, by the way, Dagda. It wasn't even Chem Tank. Oh. So we're going to get a big Nocturne. Remember that his size increases with every legendary item. So I'm just looking forward to Aki being a bit of a gremlin in this game.
Yeah, I think if you're going to go this style, I just don't see why you don't go Stridebreaker. Like, you basically get the same stuff, right? But you're actually a damage threat. And I can understand to a certain extent when you've got Creme going with you as well, but I don't know. It feels like the goal here with this composition from OMG is to kill Gala. Not having that damage onto Aki, yes, will just slow the Zeri. But when you've got like the paranoia, when you've got the fear, and you've got the damage from Shanji, I think just having the ability to one-shot Gala while he CC'd is more important than having a bit of like sustain for yourself. Even the slow, I don't think is going to play a big enough factor here.
But that's what we talked about in draft, isn't it? I mean, how do we get onto Gala? And how do those tools come together? So you raise the important point once again. He's got Trinity Force now, but like the slope is still going to be a pain in the bum. We'll watch it play out, Dagda, at the very least. OMG not with the gold lead, but still with champions that we know are strong on the one items getting towards that point. Got a Kraken for Abel. Already mentioned a big knock and what he's going to pull in. OMG might be wanting to fight around the Herald that's just spawned up, and especially with OMG not having priority in the top side, it's going to be dangerous for them to start this one off.
Oh, Creme.
Oh, Creme's dead. He walks into the Soul Flare. Gala picks up the kill, and he has Trinity Force. Now, Cold, of course, he's caught out once again as Aki pulls the ulti. Gala separated. The rest of OMG jump on. Shanji's there. Wait, what? Why did RNG leave Gala behind? They're getting burnt down, and Abel untouched. Ming hits him late, but Abel going to jump back on. The ulti comes through. What?
Yeah.
What? What the?
You stopped talking there for a second, Hysterics. Why? I don't.
What? I mean, just get me to playoffs, dude. Dagda, take over. Take it away.
That was a bit unfortunate from the OMG AD carry, but RNG now 8-2-3, 4K up. Rift Herald about to be taken, and we're going to get a replay of these shenanigans. Really nice job here from Ming and Gala. Like, great pick onto Creme. Creme doesn't get a chance to move with the Xenoblade and the Solar Flare, but here, it looked like at least Abel would have been able to do a decent amount. Like, this is the paranoia combo that we were talking about, and if Gala is in trouble, like, there's just nowhere for him to go. But here, yeah, Abel, just unfortunate, missed times the damage, thinks he can kill Wei, get the jump out, but the CC means he doesn't get the extra auto attack. Wei then with his Zhonya's and also just the heal and shield coming through is able to do enough. OMG now, already on the dragon. RNG trying to see if they can get here in time.
We'll get the popcorn out for this. We'll get the dragon. It's objective bounty time, by the way. RNG that far ahead. Realm Warp. Okay, final. Let's see on top of Abel, but the ulti from Shanji's gorgeous. This is great, but Meganar's coming into the back line and maybe a bit more constituted here as Gala's popped the ulti and kiting back, but look at this. OMG disjointed again, and Cold just loves to die. The Death Note's already pulled out. There's 2 names in the back of the book. But Creme, Aki, and Shanji seem to be next. Creme popping up and Bin aggressive as ever. RNG. Right now, the lead's so big as they want to dive on top of Shanji. Gala's back here. And Xiaohu's running in as well. I don't know how he survives this one, and I think we have a plot hole. Heal from Gala saves Xiaohu's life, and RNG continue to show us that this game now looks a bit more one-sided.
Yeah, this is now the RNG that we're kind of expecting. Much cleaner, the engages coming together nicely, and understanding what their target prioritization is in team fights. So Dragon does go the way of OMG. But RNG take a clean fight, they're getting towers, and you still have this Rift Herald, so don't forget this is now tier 2s that RNG can use. But you can see here, right, Bin corrals them one way, the rest of the squad ends up in the Realm Warp. And for Gala, he's pretty self-sufficient here, because the only person he really has to worry about is Aki, but as we said, Aki isn't really a damage threat on that backline. You can see there, like, you hop out as Gala, not really any issues, and you just don't have the damage to try and kill off this Zeri if you're just this Nocturne.
I mean, yeah, well said. That's the summary of it, isn't it? It's not coming together for OMG, and, you know, despite Aki having the kills, he's a tank. The damage sources aren't doing damage. Shanji with great ulti, but Shanji's not doing enough. And RNG in this game, you know, they're well and truly ahead, Dagda. And I don't know what more to say. You know, as a caster, you're meant to be neutral. You're meant to be not tilted. You're meant to be happy with the games you have in front of us. But even though we're at 15 kills, it's just been really strange to see. Over the wall is Creme, but Dredgeline comes through. Onto Wei, Cold going in. And again, Shanji's not doing enough damage and not on the right targets. Abel is here again, and he almost dies to Xiaohu. OMG started that one, Dagda, and RNG are going to finish it with a turret push and probably an inner turret push as well.
Yeah, they'll get the second charge here. Bin going mega means you're going to back off here as OMG. Creme, just be careful.
Yeah, being on the side with Meganar as well. This is what we've seen on Split Lock. Abel and Colt can both have really amazing 2v2s. They can carry OMG in the early game and make a big difference. Dagda, we can also see Abel and Cold throw games away. And I've just seen for the past couple of fights that Abel and Cold are not on the same page as the rest of OMG.
Look, there's a lot of issues that I have with the way OMG played this. Obviously, as you say, like, Cold and Abel not really being supported in the early stages and also going for over-aggressive plays means that now this Tristana, which should have had full control over this bot lane, is massively far behind. And because she's an auto-attack based champion, she just doesn't have the damage right now. And when you start to fall behind as these auto-based AD carries, it really sucks if you're not able to kind of stay ahead of the curve. Especially against something like a Zeri. As well, like, you've got all your kills situated onto the tank Nocturne. This is why I think I had the biggest problem with not going Stridebreaker is, like, when you get these early kills, it's kind of on you to now step up and be the carry. But Frostfire, Randuin's, you're not really going to be a carry in this scenario, and you're not even making good use out of the Randuin's passive because a lot of the damage that comes out of Gala isn't really crit based. So it's all about trying to slow this Zeri, but it's not really going to work out when, I mean, even at this stage, Bin is doing enough damage that he's got to be a threat. Xiaohu is really starting to pick up the pace, and the one-shot combo that you had, which was supposed to be Creme, Aki, and Shanji, has never actually came to fruition against Gala.
And I think my small brain is kind of looking at, like, what OMG wanted to do with the draft, as you were telling me so nicely, Dagda, like, what threat Gala was under. But each time, we haven't seen OMG go, okay, everyone toggle onto Gala. Everyone take out the primary damage source, because it's a tank Ryze. It's been on an R. Gala is the consistent DPS. And every time, Gala has been the one who's only touched by, like, Aki. Oh, Creme's trying. But no one manages to take him down. He's 2-1-5. He's got a 40 CS lead. He's 2 items with the Titanic as well. At this point, OMG are not coming together. They're not doing enough damage. And it's just bothering me that in this final game from OMG, after what was such a explosive Cajal level burger flip in game 1, that we've just had OMG sink down, and in game 2 it's been, okay, a little bit more standard, cleaner League of Legends. But this third and final game just looks like directionless, if I'm right to say, Dagda. You can tell me to shut up. You can tell me I'm wrong. I don't mind. But I'm still a little tilted.
And I mean, look, Creme is now doing his best Expecki impression where he's like, look, this team is too tanky. Can't do anything. And now RNG are just like, cool, Dragon's up, we're going to turn back towards that. OMG are trying to bait in towards Baron, but I don't think it really matters. But the big thing for OMG is actually trying to deny vision. So maybe this could be the play, because this is how they could try and get that combo off, where they've actually got flank set up where you could just see LeBlanc was about to move in behind RNG here. So maybe this is where they make it happen, but I think RNG are kind of aware of Gala playing super safe and super far back. They don't care about checking the Baron because they're well aware OMG don't really have the damage to try and burst it out.
I mean, the ward deck, there's one ward in the front of the pit.
Yeah.
Not sure if that just expired. It actually did. So RNG had full vision control. That wasn't swept out by OMG. Until it has just expired. And as they make their reset, come back onto the base, like the map, I should say, we're 2 items, 2.5 for the majority of RNG members, not being matched by many in OMG. Again, it's just a tank Nocturne who doesn't do damage. Xiaohu is 2 and a bit. Gala's 2 and a bit. Wei just picked up the Sonya's Hourglass, which has been common for a lot of our Volibears as of recently. And now allows them to dive. Cold is de-warding by himself, but remember, Aki is always a second member with the ultimate available, but will it be enough to stop RNG? At this point, I think it could be no Dagda, as RNG just going to take topside turret for free.
Yep, easy as you like. You've even got Xiaohu now taking his position up on the bot side, so full 1-3-1 setup here for RNG, and for OMG, that's terrifying. Because that's where your composition gets split up. That's where you don't have all the parts you need to make the play happen. And Cold, you need to get the hell out of here.
He actually wanted to go in. I'm glad that didn't hit. If that dredge line connected, I'd be a little bit worried, even with Xiaohu in the bottom side. RNG survived the onslaught of Cold and have a Baron to attend to if they want to. They're pushing up mid. Dragon's not available for a while. Look what Xiaohu did with the bottom wave. They're just converging in.
Creme trying to see if he can place on himself on a flank. Xiaohu searching for him. They know he has to be here though. And Creme is like, don't look. Don't look.
Xiaohu just playing with it. I mean, Bin's there. You don't need Mega Gnar. They're searching for him. Probably aware that he's in the brush. And instead they just go for the bottom side turret. They ignore Creme completely.
Nope, they found him. Jig is up.
Okay.
Now, RNG get bot lane turret. OMG now trying to threaten on towards Dragon, but once more, the vision is there. And maybe RNG. I mean, they just go for the reset on bot side. They're well aware that they can, like, TP into this, force OMG out. And then if OMG don't respect it, RNG just tear up mid lane for the mid lane turret.
Well, the misery, everyone wants to be OMG's enemy as Paranoia comes through. There's another TP on top, but OMG have already taken a lot of HP as that Mega Gnar bar's charged up, and RNG, for second seed, want to charge in and make this a winner. As the Gnar ulti from Bin, it's as easy as that. Spare the sympathy, because everyone is OMG's enemy. Oh yeah, OMG, run to your base. It's over, Dagda. I'm playing the song right now because it just seems like RNG have worked their way towards a deserved second seed.
Yeah, the misery for JDG. JDG will no longer be able to take the second place. That belongs firmly to RNG as they waltz forward, happy as you like. The base in their hands as OMG maybe look to respawn in time, but
Maybe
they back it up, actually. Yeah.
Oh,
The tune goes on. Encore.
yeah.
I don't
Look
know if
after
you want
yourself.
more.
Okay, we're going back to the 90s. We could, I've always wanted, Dagda, you know, for stream, I bought a voice mod, right? And I've always wanted to put a musical voice in for casting. However, I do value my job as we look at the replay.
Look, I mean, if you're able to find the auto-tune for it, I think it could sound splendid. Yeah, I mean, Gala completely untouched, and everyone trying to move forward to get onto Gala means Wei is like, oh, brilliant. I can easily get this Gnar ult, and it's lights out. I mean, easy fight for RNG. This is where it's like, if you can't get these pieces together for OMG, they just fall apart like this.
Yeah. I heckin' love Arcane, by the way. I don't know if that was already obvious.
Season 2 is out this year.
Is it out this year?
Yeah, I think it's at the end. I think it's
That's
December this year.
December?
Yeah.
I'm not waiting till December. That's sad. I mean, honestly, people that don't even know League of Legends watching Arcane going, this is amazing. And then League of Legends players being like, if it was only this bliss. If it was only like this. League of Legends. What a game. Hey, Xiaohu walking into a LeBlanc, but he doesn't see Creme. Creme disappears in the nick of time. And OMG, they're looking for a pick right now, but they're 12,000 gold behind at 26 minutes in. RNG have played with their food. They put it on the Barbie. Unfortunately, it's well done at this point, Dagda. Someone's got to eat it.
OMG, well, they're going to see if they can do it, but they might get burnt here. RNG now, moving across. We've got Zeri on the way, Wei on the way. Ming is already stepping up. Creme?
Yeah, Wei is on the way. You're right. RNG, no, they don't do this quick enough. Realm Warp being used. Here's Wei. Now that Wei's there, Cold goes back in. I mean, Baron has just hurt them. The MR debuff down. Cold again, embracing death. Aki not doing enough damage. He gets the 80 carry, but Gala takes all of his time and energy. Tank Nocturne has been a resounding failure. And RNG, this is how they get the second seed, Dagda. It might not be stylish, but it is with flavor in a 3-game series versus OMG. They're going to run down mid. V5 and RNG, they're the ones who get into the double elimination. This is how the LPL season ends. It may not be pretty, but does it open us up for playoffs? Yes, it does. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, we go into playoffs. Woo! Let's go, Dagda 12.5B.
Let's go! We've actually got our playoffs. We know exactly where we land. It took us about a week later than we were hoping for, but RNG do finally lock in second place. JDG would go to third. OMG, don't have to talk about them anymore because they don't exist anymore in spring 2022.
No, they don't. Now, what do we say as casters after a team loses? We say, well played.
Commiseration.
That was, yeah, commiserations,
Sorry,
right?
and move on.
This one
if anyone
for
gets that
OMG.
reference.
I mean, Dagda, we know there's problems. We know there's problems with OMG. Excuse me. We know that this team has had a lot of issues in the later half of the split. OMG after Chinese New Year, it was messy. They cooled down from their hot streak. And Abel and Cold showing us the issues with their bottom lane. Like in the 2v2, they can have great success. They can have amazing strengths, but in this game, again, it was Gala and Ming, and it was the gap where Wei just paid all of his attention down to the lane that we saw the majority of the damage coming out of from OMG.
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing is OMG's bot lane can look great at times, and I think Code has had some really highlight plays over not even just this split, but last split as well, but it just hasn't